Hi everyone. Oh gosh, so sorry everyone. I don't know. Can y'all hear me? There was a little bit of a delay because I think my mic was acting up. Just let me know that you can hear me all right. Once I've got confirmation of that, I will continue. Yay, you can hear me. Fantastic. Okay. Well. I mean, we had a feeling 2025 was going to be a great year, but I actually didn't think that it was going to kick off this quickly. Like, we are on day four of 2025. The Rangers are going mad, and Meghan's dropped her cooking show trailer. Those of you who are British, you'll understand the Big Brother reference there. But oh my goodness, I'm so happy. Like, wow, did not think that it was going to kick off this quickly. Literally, I'm thinking like maybe spring. And Meghan said, no, 2025, it's written in the sand. We are going. Ready, steady, go. Ain't nothing the haters can do now. I wish you bluebirds in the spring. I wish you peace and healing. Thoughts and prayers. I'm going to be over here, very demure, very mindful, with my strawberry Victoria sponge cakes and organic olive oil. Right, so how we're going to work things today is like this. I have pinned the call-in link to the top. Lightside is waiting in the wings. And I'm going to go through everything that's happened in the last 48 hours. And me and Lightside are going to go back and forth and have a chat about it. And then at the end, I'll let you come in and all have your 2 cents. So if you're coming in and you click the link, just please wait. You'll get your time, don't worry, because there's so much to talk about. Lightside, Lightside, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, Rahini's here as
Okay.
well.
Um Let me see here.
Lightside, how you
Okay, let
feeling?
me know. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. First of all, it's been a while since we've been able to get together like this. We've been saying, "Oh, we're gonna, come on." But I remember you sent me the message because I've been super busy. And you're like, "She's on Instagram," and I'm like, "What?" And you sent me the little clip, and I'm like, "Oh." So it's been how many days has it been since New Year? This is day 4
On
since
day 4.
2025. Only day
We
4.
day 4.
And I please don't laugh at me, but I just messaged Anne's like, "Look, I don't have time for this. Like, I'm getting my slides together." I said, "When did she get her official blue check mark?" Because I was just on her site like yesterday and the day before. I didn't see it. So she's official.
Yeah, indeed.
I am excited. But I'm gonna let you go and do your thing. I'll be here to jump in and whatnot. I'm
Yeah.
just I have a lot of stuff to talk about, as I'm sure you do too. And I'm just gonna let you take
Mm,
off. And yeah. But super excited about this.
thank
I'm happy we get to see her.
Indeed. And Rahini, I'll let you jump in as well with me and Lightside, but I'm assuming it's either Kate or William's birthday because I don't keep up with these people. But what do you mean you wish you'd done it on the 10th? What's on the 10th?
Well, the 10th is Kitty's
Oh,
birthday.
it's Kitty's, but yeah, I had a feeling that's what it
I'm
was.
gonna dropped it on the 10th and like take that and be like, oops, I didn't know. We don't talk. How am I gonna know? Yeah, I was gonna be shady, but she's so classy and nice. Are we gonna have a watch party though?
Do you know what? That is such a good question. Oh, sorry, my mic is acting. Give me a sec, folks. Oh, give me one moment because my mic is acting really funny. Okay, sorry about that. That should be stable now. I've got one of these weird mics that has a connector. Okay, so to answer your question, are we gonna have a watch party? I I would love for us to do that. Does anybody know? Because I wouldn't be able to stream it like on my YouTube because that would be instant copyright. They'd probably just delete my channel entirely. So if anybody knows like another platform where I could possibly, or maybe if I made like a just like a shell channel where we could stream it or something like that. If anybody knows like how you do those streaming things and where I can actually stream it, please let me know because I would actually love to do that. I think it's a great idea. If not, because okay, 15th is what day is that? 15th is a Wednesday, and I don't. So far, I haven't got any work on that day. So if I don't have work on that day, I will watch it as quickly as possible and then come to a podcast straight away. And I might try and figure out a way how we can do a watch party. If not, it's gonna be I'll just do a podcast that evening. But that is a very good idea, Rahini. Was there anything you wanted to say? And before we get to it,
She is definitely the new Martha Stewart, and I am loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Ugh, my heart is full. It really is.
amazing, amazing. Okay, right. I'll get through my slides, and then I can see you all coming in the back. I know you want to give your 2 cents, and I want to hear your 2 cents. So let's get going. Thank you to all of the mods. I can see you all here. I was actually in the chat when Meghan hit 1 million followers on Insta. Wow, 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 wow. So, I mean, I guess we could start with that. 1 million followers in 24 hours. Baron did a live, and we all watched. We were all refreshing. I think she's now at 1.3, 1.4. She was at 3 million before the Unreal Mafia made her delete her Instagram. I'm sure they gave some crappy reason about safety or security or something stupid like that. I always thought that it would be nice to have her Instagram and her blog kept as an archive, but we all know the reason they made her delete all that stuff was so that they could erase her incredible work, erase her true history, and rewrite who Meghan Markle is as someone who is controlling, Jezebel, out to ruin the royal institution, this 300-year-old institution that is apparently so weak that it would be brought down by a 5'4" woman from California. So it's great to see this version of Meghan back because this was the Meghan that they tried to erase. Meghan is not new to this; she's true to this, and you know, this is the path that Meghan was going down already. The TIG was very successful. It was only going to grow even more as her acting career continued, as her humanitarian work continued. It was already the path that this isn't new. So anyone saying, oh, she's jumping on being an influencer, she's jumping on, no, this is what she always did. Here are actually some posts from 2014. We'll probably go back even further than that. As far back as 2014. Homemade chocolate molten cakes. Let's bake a crumble. Recipe coming soon on the TIG. Peri grilled chicken. This woman rescued Harry from beans on toast. His chicken is properly spiced. His cakes are molten and chocolate. There's actually a video of a butler from Buckingham Palace. I kid you not. These people have butlers and chefs. And do you know what that butler did? He pulled the chicken out the fridge, whacked it onto the oven tray, sprinkled some salt, and the way this butler was sprinkling salt, like the salt bay sprinkling magic on this chicken, and then just threw the chicken in the oven. That's what they're eating in this palace with whole butlers and chefs. Unspiced chicken sprinkled with salt. The horror. Also, before I continue, I just want to give a shout out to the real star of all of this. It's not Meghan, it's this little guy right here. I mean, this guy is also a survivor. He been through it. Had his legs broken in that palace. I'm loving that this little fella has his piece as well. So here are, if you haven't watched the full trailer, why have you not? But here are some stills. And that is, by the way, for the newbies around here, that is Guy, Meghan's dog. Here are some stills with some of the people that are going to be in the documentary. Or I don't know if I call it a documentary, just a cooking show. Mindy Kaling, who I actually predicted might be in the show. I think we all wondered kind of how it would play out. Would it just be, Meghan showing her cooking skills? But I had a feeling that she would likely invite some friends and family to also take part. It was not filmed in their Montecito home. It was filmed in another home in the area, which I think is a good idea. Keeping some level of privacy so people don't, snoop through their home via the show. That is a Daniel Martin makeup artist who's just known for a very long time, pre-royal life. And also here are some more stills. You see one with Harry. So definitely you're going to see their friends. You see her going into her garden. So we could just to, pick fruits, vegetables, flowers. You see her go into the flower shop. You also see her with Abigail Spencer, a former co-worker on Suits. Also her birthday twin and bestie. Also Kelly, I always forget her second name, sorry, Heart Mum on Instagram, who she's worked with on her, her Mum Alliance project. Who else do you see her with? Oh, let me actually go to the description so we can read it together. And you also see different stills of some of the things they're cooking. I mean, it all just looks so delicious and lush. This is the poster. Oh my God, we're going to talk about this poster because wow. We'll get there in a sec. Create wonder in every moment. But just to get into the details a little bit more, the 8-episode series. So it's going to be 8 episodes. And each episode has a running time of 33 minutes. Brings together a lineup of Meghan's closest friends. Among them are her longtime makeup artist, Daniel Martin, and photographer, Delphia Balquer. That's Nacho's other half. Wife of Polo star Nacho Figueres and close friend of Prince Harry. The series also features actress-producer Mindy Kaling, Tracy Roberts, wife of Paramount CEO Brian Roberts. Also, Tracy's going to be there as well. Veteran literary agent and Godmother's Bookstore co-founder Jennifer Rudolph Wolf. Toucher founder Vicky Tsai. Oh, Meghan loves Toucher products. I've actually been seeing their products pop up all over my feed. It seems the girlies really love their products because the products do as they say on the bottle, but they're not cheap. But I definitely want to try it soon because they seem like they're, the girlies are loving it. And also former Suits star Abigail Spencer. And Kelly McKee Duchess Fenn, I'm so sorry, I'm butchering her name, co-founder of Alliance of Mums. Adding a culinary flair to the series are renowned chefs and restaurateurs Roy Chow and Raymond Velasquez, along with farm-to-table pioneer Alice Waters, who share their expertise and passion for food. And you also see Meghan beekeeping, flower arranging, just like doing a whole range of like homemaking, and wining and dining of friends, with all the old school class and manners that I think we need to bring back. So Hot Girl Summer is out. It's going to be a baking and gardening girl summer. We are baking, flower arranging, mastering recipes, pickling, growing herbs, embroidery. skincare. That's what we doing. Skincare, hair care, hippie highbrow hair oil. That's 2025. Cannot wait. Lightside, do you want to say anything before I continue?
Um, yeah, I mean, I agree. I just I'm over here tussling because I got booted from my internet froze, but I you know what, this couldn't have come at a more perfect time. Very unexpected, but 2025, I'm not going to say too much, but I think there are a lot of us coming out of 2024 transitioning into 2025 that have been in a self-preservation mode. And I'm not going to say too much about that, but I think,
Mm,
look at this as like a sliver of light and something to use, I'm going to be honest, as a well needed and much, much wanted distraction.
yeah.
We haven't seen our girl since archetypes. Okay.
Hmm.
And when you were so on point when you said this is, I think this is like the TIG 2 3.0.
Yeah.
I don't want to minimize this by just saying the TIG, but we all know um about the TIG and the kind of work and quality that she had with the TIG, but it's given the same energy of just details and quality and and she always seems to put a piece of her creativity in the stuff that she does, which I so
Hmm.
appreciate because I'm very much like that, and I think that's a good way to find purpose in the stuff that you do. So I just, after all that she's been through, we've seen over the last year and a half after archetypes, um hearing whispering behind the scenes, like her going out with a couple of people, right? You guys remember
Hmm.
when she showed up, and I don't remember which one of her girls, if it was Serena or someone else that was with her, but I remember next to her, I think Jeff Bezos was maybe a couple seats down, and then the Netflix CEO was also there, right?
Hmm.
And we've seen her in other areas showing up. We saw her show up for the grand release of Highbrow Hippies hair care package that they just had out that's doing really well. So she shows up and she has her presence in amongst the people that have been support of her behind the scenes that we may not have known as
Yeah.
much in the beginning. And as you said, there's some familiar faces like Abigail, Kelly, Zaf. I'm gonna really butcher her name, Zashfin,
I
Kelly
think
McKee Zashfin.
Church Nelly put it in the chat.
Yeah, I can't pronounce her name, but her also her other friend that she's super close with, that sadly I think lost her son a couple years ago. Mindy Kaling, Mindy. When I saw Mindy in the clip, I was just like, oh my God, archetypes! Like, are we gonna see some other familiar faces? You know,
Hmm.
so I'm really excited to see how this jumps off. I know it's gonna go well. I know that we're gonna see another side of her that she's dying to kind of express. And most importantly, I'm gonna like hold a lot of this stuff in because I know you got a couple of things to talk about. But most importantly, we get to see Meghan for who she is. We get to
Hmm.
see Meghan for the person that they've tried to subdue, that they've tried to create a narrative for that wasn't Meghan. We get
Hmm.
to see her creativity at a level that is on a higher platform and a bigger stage
Yeah.
because now her name is known. And even those people, and again, and we already know how this is going to play out. There, those of us are going to support her because we just like what she does. We like the type of person that we see, but they're also going to be haters that are going to be watching because they
Hmm.
can't help but to watch. Some of whom are
Indeed.
dying that comment section in her Instagram page is open so they can spew vitriol, and you just wait for it. We're going to see the same kind of pattern as you did for the Poll documentary or docuseries that he came out with, and also with the Harry and Meghan docuseries, because their main aim is to try to minimize everything that she puts out to try to break her or to just make it seem like whatever she's doing has no substance. So that's not going to be new. We're just prep yourself for that. But I think that the difference with this is you are going to see her live in her element, being who she is and who she's always been, and I'm really excited to see that.
Indeed. Amina, I can see. I won't let you wait until the end. Actually, I'll let you jump in now if you want to say something about how you're feeling about the whole cooking show. Do you want to come in, or just about seeing Meghan in general? Just go on.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great. Lovely to hear from you. Happy New Year.
I know, right? Let's see. Well, I'm very excited for her show. I can't wait. I
Hmm.
already got it. I already got the notifications on. Looking
Hmm.
forward to seeing her cook some good food, living her best life. And yes, I have followed her Instagram page. Even though it was already out, I was kind of iffy
Hmm.
if it was her or if it was like
Yeah.
a fan or fake page. So I just wanted to wait until she officially was on there, which I'm so happy she
Hmm.
is. I just hate that I didn't follow this woman before she even got with Prince Harry. But you know what? That is okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're gonna. This is Tig 0.3 and even better.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I can't wait. And the food looks really good.
It looks amazing, right? Okay, I'll let you jump in again later. Mina, Rahini, just quickly, do you want to say something before I move on to the next thing?
No, I'm good. I'm actually at work, so I have to behave.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll let you jump in the end. All right. Lovely. Okay. The other two people who have jumped in, I'll get to you. Don't worry. I just want to because we've got a lot of slides to get through. But here in the squad, we keep receipts. We keep receipts. So at approximately 7:34 EST time on the 16th of December 2024, this is what the Daily Mail reported. A Netflix insider told Mail Online today that Meghan's cookery show may not see the light of day. Others suggested it might, especially if it boosts Meghan's lifestyle brand, be but it will make or break for the couple who hopes of building a TV dynasty. Who had hopes of building a TV dynasty. Well-placed sources indicate the launch of the show and brand will happen in the first quarter of the year, judging by the fact that it's not part of any Netflix scheduled in January. Well, for the much bigger shows, sometimes Netflix will hold back and give you a surprise, Beyonce album drop instead, and that's what we've gotten with this. We must expect late February after Harry's Invictus Games in Whistler, or even March for the launch. Nonsense. Netflix insider my behind. See how they just post nonsense? They knew absolutely nothing. And they continue with this really strange narrative of Harry and Meghan failing. I mean, who is buying this? Do you remember some time back when I read out posts from the Rangers on this Reddit forum that they have going where they were like, "Oh my god, it's affecting my mental health that Meghan keeps winning and she lands on her feet. She's like a cat with 20 lives." But you know who told us not to underestimate Meghan? One of her friends, Patrick Adams, who has been consistent. It sickened me to read the endless RS slanderous clickbaiting vitriol brewed in her direction from all manner of media across the UK and the world, but I also knew that Meghan was stronger than people realised or understood, and they would regret underestimating her. I posted this some time ago. And then they welcomed Archie, and on any sort of decent planet, that would be a time to stop sharpening the knives and let these two people enjoy the magical early months and years of starting a family. But we don't live on that planet, and instead the hunt continued. It's obscene that the royal family, whose newest member is currently growing inside of her, is promoting and amplifying accusations of bullying against a woman who herself was basically forced to flee the UK in order to protect her family and her own mental health. Indeed. See, her own friends, people who know Meghan, know that they were underestimating the wrong woman, and she has come out on top. This is one of the reasons I wrote my book. This is a lesson in how to rise above the noise, rise above the haters. It doesn't matter how sharp their knives are, how many hounds they release. This person on Twitter writing, "I've never been so effing happy for someone to succeed and give the middle finger to her haters more than this woman. She is so effing back." Meghan, my love, you deserved it. P.S. I know you love Harry and he is cool and all, but he is still bold. Okay, leave Harry and his boldness alone. But aside from that part, I agree with that whole comment, because Meghan has said herself at the very end of her Archetypes podcast, "What didn't you do to bury me? You didn't know that I was a seed." And also still showing her power as an influencer. These were some earrings that literally got what, 5 seconds of airtime in this trailer, and they sold out within 2 hours on every single site. I was looking for these because they weren't that expensive. They were like gold plated, they're not solid gold, so they didn't cost too much. Sold out on every single platform within 2 hours. Earrings that got 5 seconds of airtime. So it's not just the cooking show or RO, it's her power of as an influencer that keeps showing itself. The other thing that I want to get onto, and I hope you've all enjoyed the pictures, but let's really get onto the meat of this. One of the things that has, I don't know if I would say it surprised me, but I just find interesting and very revealing, is the number of conservative influence. I don't even know if I would really call them conservative, like these new right wing. They're just spewers of hate. I don't think they're really conservative in the traditional sense. They're just spewers of hate on nonsense. They're grifters, and their grift moves towards the most profitable grift of the day. I find it interesting how much hate they are spewing towards this. Because, I mean, let's just look at this picture for a moment. Sorry, my slides are kind of all over the place. Don't know what's happening here. I want you to just look at this picture of this is the poster for the show. Okay? And think of the trailer aesthetically, just aesthetically for a second. You have a woman, Meghan, who is dressed very modestly, cooking, homemaking, flower arranging. Is this not the image of womanhood that these conservatives uphold as the ideal? And what the show is showcasing, these kind of like old school, elegance, refined, homemaking, is that not what they say is the ideal? They should be absolutely loving this more than anyone. And yet, you have the likes of Meghan, my father, McCain. That lady has not done anything in her life other than have the second name McCain. Andrew, you're going to end up in jail, so just keep your mouth shut because you're currently under house arrest, Tate. Candace the Coon Owens, the whole lot of them coming after her. So what is their problem? What is your problem, Candace Owens? Because I remember not too long ago when you were having a whole rant saying, talking about female rappers naked and rapping about their WAP. And now here you have Meghan, who's dressed modestly, she's gardening, she's cooking. The goalpost moves as and when it suits them, as and when the grift suits them. So what is the problem? Is it because Meghan won against your hate? Is it because that she's still a very influential woman who stands for other women? Is it because she still very much has autonomy of her life? In fact, she took back autonomy of her life. I mean, if you look at right now, we're in the middle of this very strange, like trad wife propaganda phase. It's like it's all over the TikToks, all over the internet. And I think it's just revealed that in the end, for them, it's really just about controlling women. They can't stand that a woman who they try to destroy is still standing very tall while still looking graceful and elegant. Here is a picture of Meghan McCain, by the way. I'm going to get to her in a sec, in her kitchen. The picture of Meghan, that is what women like Meghan McCain, that's what they think they look like. That's the ideal that they want to aspire to. That's what they think they look like. That's what they believe they are. And they can't stand that Meghan, a woman with 5 drops of melanin in her, is doing it better. And still more popular than they are, and still more successful than they are. Meghan, my father McCain, she was on Twitter talking about how this show is insensitive, that why would Meghan drop this trailer when there's just been terrorist attacks? Like Meghan only, the only person who should stop her whole life for the rest of the world is Meghan. I mean, seriously, what would Meghan McCain be if she wasn't putting down other women? That's basically half her career. Oh, and about 5 minutes ago, she was also saying that the monarchy was old, archaic, and deeply irrelevant. I'd rather eat a muddy tire than watch Charles and Camilla. Also, her memoir, Bad Republican, flopped so hard it sold fewer than 300 copies. You also had this lady. I mean, I just had to laugh at this. And Nancy, whoever she is, who nobody knows, I have no reason to pile on Markle, but as a baker and a pretty good homemaker, what's on offer here is awful. The cake is dry, thin and pale. She arranges flowers, so what? Is Netflix hoping for a hate watch? That seems rude. I mean, the likes of this lady, they are gonna be hate watching. Like I said, Meghan's picture of perfection here. And by the way, Meghan said that she wasn't aiming for perfection, she's aiming for joy. So Meghan's picture of joy, that's what they think they look like. In their minds, this is what they look like. In reality, this is what they look like. And this is what they cooking looks like. Instead of taking some notes and learning a thing or two, they would rather just sit there and hate. And I've always said a lot of the hate towards Meghan is not just artist, because there's a lot of people of color who don't like her also, including Black people. It's also to do with the fact that she's just so good at what she does. She's so multifaceted, and I think she really made a lot of people realize. A lot of people who thought that they were so amazing, people like this Nancy lady who thinks she's so amazing, that actually you're pretty just dumb basic. That's a huge part of it as well. Andrew Tate saying, like this tweet, if you'd rather get AIDS than watch this BS. Andrew Tate, by the way, I'm following some rather reputable lawyers, not internet ishtarers. He is going to jail, just so you all know. Get your dresses ready. I am actually going to have a Women of the World party when he goes to jail. He once invited Meghan to cook him chicken. He's going to be eating chicken slop in prison. This is gonna be the year of the Meghan trolls getting their karma. Andrew Tate is currently on trial for trafficking, tax evasion, and also another trial in the UK. Believe me when I say I've been following this trial very, very closely. He is going to jail. Don't listen to anything else. You also had the Telegraph writing this. If my friends posted a video like Meghan's, I think they were having a breakdown. The same paper that put this on their front cover. Where's Meghan? With all these pictures, with that weird picture in the background of loads of pictures of Harry. And I think there's like one Meghan in there somewhere. So Meghan posting a video of her on the beach. That's apparently having a mental breakdown. But a national newspaper in the United Kingdom that should be focused on informing the public, having this on their cover, that's not a sign of illness, apparently. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. They're desperate because Meghan gives you this. Meanwhile, the other royals give you this. Floppy, floppy pancakes. Okay. Was there anything else that I wanted to? Anything else that? Oh yeah, these are the front pages. Can't help themselves. Jan Moore, whole front page of the Daily Fail. I was also at the salon yesterday. It was on ITV. They had a whole segment on ITV, so I'm going to assume that Sky also had a segment. They have to report on Meghan as a even though she's not a working royal anymore. They still have to report on her as a royal. The others don't give them anything. Thank you so much to Caddy V for the super sticker. Happy New Year to you, darling. Thank you to everyone who donates. The donations are much appreciated. And you can also donate to Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal, by the way. So yeah, I think that is pretty much all I had to say. I'm going to get through some of your comments, and then we'll get some commentary and opinions from Lightside, and then I will take the calls. Okay, because I know you all are just itching to say what you want to say. But I want to get through your comments as well. So yes, please, Anhol, hit that like button, everyone. Like and follow button. Anhol, you said getting my Netflix account back next week to watch Polo and our beautiful, charismatic, talented, passionate, wonderful, inspirational, and aspirational Meghan. Indeed. And I think that that's another thing that they can't get over. They can't get over how just multi-layered Harry and Meghan are. And this whole idea of, pursue all of your talents and passions. I've seen some commentary talking about how, oh, I guess she's done with her humanitarian phase. Now she's on her cooking show and influencer phase. No. She's all of those things at the same time. And a wife and a mother and a friend. I'm sure there's a lot more things. Oh, and a writer and a poet. You can be a whole bunch of things at once. Let me just also say, I consider me influenced. I will be buying those baking supplies, booking that pastry lesson. I have a whole playlist on YouTube of recipes that I'm going to be trying. Consider me influenced. All my aunties telling me to learn how to cook better so I can get a husband. And it took Meghan to get me to cook better. Lottie, you said they can try all they want. They could never break Meghan. Meghan is a seed. Exactly. They underestimated her completely. Exactly. Getting better and better, V. And also just back to Meghan McCain's comment about this somehow being insensitive. Did you not watch the coronation? The coronation, whole gold carriages going through the streets of London during the cost of living crisis. Nonsense. And mind you, I come from a working class family, and my mother always taught me, the importance of, keeping a good home. The dinner table still had to be set. Both me and my brother learned how to cook. I mean, I feel like these are just universal life skills that everybody should have. It doesn't matter whether you come from a rich or a poor background. Yes, if you're rich, you may be able to afford finer cutlery, but these are just universal values that everybody should have. So I don't really universal values and skills that everybody should have. So I don't really buy this idea that it's somehow out of touch. Barry said, haters don't realize how badly their obsessive and constant hate mongering is damaging their health and souls. It literally is. I mean, some of them have actually admitted this. Sharoni said, the blue goddess dress is fabulous. Is that the one where she's with Mindy Kaling? Let me try and find it. This one? Yeah, I think it's, if you look really closely, it's like it's a picture of something. They're not flowers. It's something else. There's also a brown, it kind of had this potato sack kind of look to it that she's wearing. Apparently that was from Zara. So not everything is super designer. Some of it is stuff that you can get from the high street as well. But as always, Meghan's style is minimalist, so you can always find good dupes. V Bram today they is that meant to be they are attacking Meghan for claiming to be a feminist but promoting a homemaker show. I mean, I feel like you can be both. Homemaking and cooking, like I said, these are universal things, and feminism is about giving women a choice. And if a woman is going to be a homemaker and a stay at home wife and mother, she should still be respected in her home. There's a lot of stay at home mothers that are not respected in their homes because their husbands, control the purse strings. And they take being able to be a homemaker as a trade off for freedom and autonomy. And it should never be a trade off. There is nothing wrong with a woman of being a homemaker and being at home, but she should be respected in her home. And a lot of people don't feel that way. Demo, they continued with a football game in the city where the attack happened, but they wanted Meghan to cancel a promo. Exactly. Nonsense. I mean, just what a ridiculous and manipulative thing to say. I mean, if you want to go down that route, the whole world is witnessing a genocide right now. The whole world should stop, quite frankly, if Meghan McCain really wants to take it there. Meghan McCain, a daughter of a Republican, did her Republican father's policy, how much did they help anyone in America? If you want to take it there, Meghan McCain, please. Meghan doesn't have to stop for anyone. Sean Jones shouldn't be in prison somewhere for trafficking. He will go to prison. Like I said, I've been following the trial, and the Romanian authorities are actually doing a very, very good job. They are being very, very thorough in their investigation. And it's one of the reasons why it's taking them so long, because they're making sure that they're not giving the Tate brothers any wriggle room whatsoever. So rest assured, they will be going to jail. Very likely charges for both trafficking and also tax evasion. Yeah, exactly. He'll have raw meat in Romanian jail, and then when he's done in Romanian jail, get extradited for the UK to be trialed in the UK, and then he could get put in jail again with his brother too. So he'll go from raw chicken to beans on toast in a UK jail. You love to see it. 2025, the year that we are coming for the trolls. Oy. Benjamin, how do you call in? If you click on the pinned comment in the comment section, then you can come in. Click on that. Jane Mueller, I just want her and Harry to be billionaires. Me too. Not me, the socialist, wanting someone to become a billionaire. But really, if you want anyone to become a billionaire, wouldn't it be Harry and Meghan? I mean, you know that some of that billions is going to go somewhere good. Yeah, Meghan has them haters on a leash. Lives rent-free in their minds. Meghan, did I tell you Senator McCain is my father? Meghan, my father, McCain. God. Has anybody checked on the other Meghan hater, Meghan the Kelly? All right. Hey, Tracy Tippy Hayes. Oh my gosh, I feel like I haven't seen you for a while. Yes, finally catching alive. Yes, Meghan is a perfectionist, but she's only aiming for joy. All right. Okay, I think I've gone through. Oh, Michelle, that's interesting. John McCain's family got their money through Mississippi slavery. The families don't like talking about that. Oh, I bet they don't. I bet they don't. All right. I've got two callers, and then we will have like a round table discussion. So, Special Love, I feel like I don't think I've had you on before. Would you like to speak? Go on.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Happy New Year.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to address one part of the comment that Megan McCain made about food deserts. I live in a food desert.
Okay.
And what the definition of a food desert is, that means there's no access to fresh produce. There is no grocery store in the area for which I live. And so I just wanted to talk about how our Megan, not Megan McCain, but how Duchess Megan had an impact on what I do in the community. And so when I first started to watch what Megan was doing in our community, we formed a group of all the residents that live in the area, and we have brought up 2 gardens. And she was the inspiration for that, telling you what are you doing in your community. So when people talk about food deserts and talk about what impact they have, if you've never lived in a food desert, it is hard for me to understand you know what you're talking about, because we have so many corner stores, but those corner stores are not offering any fresh produce. So those gardens that we brought up, the 2 of them, and we're bringing up a farm this year, will help us in our food desert as we work on getting a grocery store back in the community. So it needs to be really, if people don't know what a food desert is and you've never lived in one, gardening is one of the most important things in those communities. And so I thank Megan and her impact and influence on communities throughout the world, which put me in a leadership role to bring gardens to my community. So I just wanted to add that when you're listening to some of this commentary from people, and they're not explaining what a food desert really is and how it works, and don't know what communities are doing to help get rid of food deserts, I just get really mad because I'm saying you've never been in a place where you didn't have fresh produce. And it's huge in communities where there is no grocery store, right? So these gardens and these farms really feed people, and Megan is doing a good job of that. I mean, you're looking at her in tons of pictures in gardens, right? And I've seen in my community where the engagement, where we brought people back to the garden, we've even brought kids back to the garden. So it is really important to distinguish between what someone is claiming is done and what is truly being done in our communities.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Special love for sharing that. If I mean, this is you don't have to say yes, but I think it's just so interesting what you've said. If you would like me to highlight any of that work on the podcast, please do email me. That is my email,
Okay,
anthonymalambo@gmail.com. And I would
I will.
absolutely love to highlight the work that you've been doing and how Megan has inspired you. So that's just if you want to. And thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that.
And it might be others that Megan inspired them in a way that helps community, helps social justice, whatever it is. We have to start highlighting the positive. You don't have to talk a lot about it, but we got to start looking at the positive. And the negative is there; it's going to be there, right? But we have so
Mm-hmm.
much positivity that's coming from our communities, that Megan had a major role in.
Absolutely, and I would love to highlight that if you want to message me, and great job on your amazing work. Thank you. We need more people like you, and we need more community grassroots engagement. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. See, like, just wow. I was not expecting that at all. And also, actually, I've just remembered Megan did a project a while back. It was called Feed. Let me just see if I can actually find. Oh yes, it was called Feed Supper. And instead of asking everyone to bring something, Megan, I think she asked that they RSVP'd by making a donation to the Feed project. And the party actually raised enough to provide 6,000 meals to people in need. I believe Stanley Tucci was even at that dinner. So she's been doing this. That was back in 2014, and inspiring other people to do things as well. Okay, so Yalibi, would you like to go next?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Uh, I just want to, I've been on Instagram like yesterday. I was looking at all the feed, and I want to start by saying that I am so happy to see how a lot of people are going to war for Meghan. A lot of people.
Hmm.
I haven't seen so much positive response to defending her, so collective as this time. It's almost like people really have had enough. They really had enough.
Hmm.
You see,
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people have an issue, and a very profound issue with seeing a woman of color or people of color, particularly if they are Black, succeeding. What Meghan is doing and what she is what a lot of them wish they could be, or they dream about it. And they just cannot deal with the fact that that woman is living a life then they only wish they could have. And they're forgetting that she earned a way there. Meghan is not from a rich family. She worked. She worked very hard to be who she is. She deserves
And
every
also,
single thing.
and also, sorry if I can just jump in there. Some of them did actually come from rich families, but money doesn't buy you class, grace, elegance. Those are things that are taught to you, your values. It's an essence that you have. So some of them actually do have the money, and they're in certain circles. They don't have that essence. That can't be bought.
Well, you can buy class.
Hmm.
You can buy class. You cannot buy a good heart. Either you have it or you don't. And for them, it's inconceivable that a Black woman, because I mean, she's Black. I don't care if she's mixed, she is Black. Then a Black woman can be who Meghan is. For them, it's impossible. I know you have some Black people or some people of color who doesn't like her, and this is just pure jealousy. But the other one is more profound. They believe then what she is what they should be. She has no right to be this beautiful. She has no right to be this successful. God, she has no right to have a prince because the prince should only look at them. Why her? And it is unbelievable that she is about to do this amazing show that I'm waiting, Siri, I'm waiting to see because I want to learn. I want to learn how to cook. I want to know all these decoration tips. And it's going to bring some joy because God knows, at least in the United
Hmm.
States in 2025, we have a lot that
Yeah.
is positive to come. So this
Hmm.
is a ray of sun in the darkness because we're about to go through some darkness. And they're
Hmm.
all going crazy because she's glamorous, because she's beautiful, because she's classy. I mean, what, Black women, we're not allowed to be that?
Hmm.
Is something saying that Black women cannot have taste? We can't be beautiful, we can't be smart? I mean, what is wrong with those people?
Hmm.
Why is so much hate? And it doesn't bring anything to their life. They are miserable and they're going to continue to be miserable because hate brings hate.
Hmm.
Bad vibes brings bad vibes, so they're never going to be happy because they don't bring happiness to the world. They don't emit any love. I mean, I am so excited, and
Same.
I really believe Megan is blessed because she's a good person, and when you're a good person you get good vibes back.
Hmm.
And we Black women, yes, we are beautiful, we are smart, we are classy, and we deserve all the blessings. So too bad. And Megan McCain, ooh,
It's the year for trolls. We'll just leave the year for trolls to get her karma. We'll just leave it there with
Megan
Meghan McCain.
McCain, Megan McCain. If it wasn't for her father, she would be a nobody.
Yeah.
A
All right.
nobody. She's just jealous. That's
Yeah.
it. I mean, it's nothing else to say. The woman is just jealous. That's it. This is
All right. Thank you so much, Lily B.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Ciao. Okay, Mina, I will let you go next, and then we will wrap up with commentary from Rahini and Lightside. Go on, Mina, if you wanted to say anything else.
Oh yes. For the haters, yeah, you're getting your just due. All y'all had to do was leave her and Harry alone, but
Oh,
no, just keep doing what you're
mhm.
doing. Karma will be knocking at your door for sure. Oh, and as for the Megan McCain, girl, go sit down somewhere. Like, ain't nobody studying you. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Girl, shut up and go do something. I would
Mhm.
cuss, but I'm not even gonna go there. So that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, and for Andrew Tate, your karma's coming to you, and that little post you had wrote, um, you might want to tread carefully because it ain't gonna be looking too good for you once you get in prison. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
it. That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much, Mina. Okay. Last we have. Okay, I'll put both Rahini and Lightside on speaker. I don't know if Rahini is still at work, but Lightside.
Hey, um, just keeping so much in. So, I'm all for details. I'm gonna just do a quick couple of things I noticed. I hope everyone noticed that the Megan in her with Love Megan, that's her penmanship. I think we all recognize that by
Calligraphy.
now. And I'm glad to
Yeah.
see that little touch on there. I'm not surprised that she put that in,
Hmm.
seeing that she writes so well. But going back to a couple of the higher level details that are more positive, I am guessing that with the donuts, I'm seeing a little bit of lavender, maybe some other flowers sprinkled on
Oh
top with
yes.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
Edible
that's
flowers.
what's there. Yeah. And then with the ladybugs, I am guessing or
Avocado toast.
surmising, yeah, that maybe that is, got a little tomato there, olives,
Soy sauce.
mozzarella. Mm-hmm.
That's what
And
you
is
can
that
use soy sauce to make the little dots.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's either soy sauce or balsamic vinaigrette on the top for the little dots, right? Like one, I
Hmm.
thought, yeah. So details, and I'm dying to know what's in that cake over there. But like, yeah, just really paying attention to a lot of those details. But going back to um and transitioning into some of the negative commentary that you posted on Twitter, which I have recently pulled back from for my mental health. Like I'm just kind of pulling back from some of the social media. So I'm not absorbing a lot of that. But, I of course follow a couple of people that is in her circle on some of the social media platforms. And they're really high level individuals, seemingly like-minded, like that would fit Megan's kind of like environment for who she would keep around her, right? They're doing their own thing in
Hmm.
their own regard. But Misan like actually posted something when she went live with her social
Oh, she's
media and
back.
said, yeah, but said, I'm proud of you, you know?
Hmm.
And there's
Hmm.
so much in that because I think that and we talked about this like way back when the Tig was there and we're like, oh my god, we wish the Tig came back because she has such good taste with certain things. Like you brought up here in the podcast that almost every little thing that even if it's for a 5-second moment, people are going to find out what it is, where to get it from, and it's going to be sold out within the next 30 minutes if you have that much time to even type in the website for the item. And there's something to be said about that, which I'm going to just summarize separately. But she has a thing that she does where people like what she has on, right? And like how she presents it. And so I think that, we wanted to see more of that. So for him to say there's so much in what he said, I'm so proud of you, or I'm proud of you, because you have to be brave to step back out and put yourself to in the limelight for scrutiny, right? And that's what's going to happen. Like you can show up here and there. We saw her kind of like doing sprinkles with Beyonce concert with certain things on the red carpet. um you know she showed up on different venues. Those are like, okay, let me kind of put my toes in the water, see how it feels, and then kind of go out. And now we're seeing her take her power back and show
Hmm.
us a side of herself that she, embodies. And I think that's great. So for him to say that, I also like really feel that, I'm really proud that she decided that she was gonna go into the spotlight again and like pretty much go on a stage where you're gonna have people shooting bow and arrows and everything else at her trying to destroy her, you know but again, going back to some of the the fashion decisions that she's made, you're right, she is powerful. And something that goes along that is, I have to say this, with the commentary that you showed with one of her castmates on Suits, some of the other things that you hear people say about Megan without not knowing her. Um, that's not an easy thing to embody, to have people actually step up for you on
Mm,
their own and to defend you in such a way that there's so much genuine like feeling towards it, authenticity towards it. That says a lot about the person that they're defending. And what I'm trying to get at is, I am someone that will like to think, I'm putting my own self out here for a second. I would like to think I'm a decent person. I'm not going to say I'm a good person. I have my flaws, right? I have my insecurities. I have things that I'm not good at. I have things that I'm working on. Um, but I am not always liked, in certain spaces. And it's because I am someone that's very opinionated. I usually stand
mhm,
10 toes down on things I feel strongly on. And there's sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. People don't like how it's delivered, or may feel that you are attacking them or coming at them in some way, shape, or form. And how you make them feel can affect how they perceive you.
mhm,
So I'm saying this because I'm not saying necessarily that I'm a bad person because other people, or maybe some people don't like me. I have very kind of like polarizing effects with people. People either really like me and they gravitate towards me, or my personality is too strong for them. Right. There's
mhm,
something about me that kind of unnerves them a little bit. With her, what I've seen is we see a little bit of that with the tabloid press, with the royalists. But when you see people defending her, it is something that they're seeing to her core. They believe who she is, what she
mm,
embodies, who they've seen, and it stands on its own. And it is supported by these people that know her really well. And that is something I can't put a finger on what that is. It's more than authenticity, but it is not an easy thing to have. And I'm going to say that that is part of what threatens the masses. So you see the commentary from the other Megan and McCain, the Candace Owens, the Tates. We can line all of those people up and find clear flaws in just what we know in them, right? And our
flaws is an
podcast,
understatement.
yeah, we're not on this podcast to knock people down, but we're going to call people out, call a spade,
Mhm,
shame the devil. Um, you're not in your own sense being honest. You're being a hypocrite. You have no grounds to be criticizing anything. You are correct. The trad wife culture has been pitched. The so-called conservatives, because you want to break down the word conservative and try to understand what that means. It's not what these people are presenting, right? When you have
mhm,
conservative values, it means that you uphold usually Christianity or religion, like helping others, being kind, being
mhm,
fiscally conservative, right? Not going out on a limb to muddy someone up and then turning around and looking at somebody else as doing the same thing, but saying, oh, that's okay with them, right? That doesn't define conservatism. So I don't know what these people are, but what I'm seeing and what I want to call out is the fact that they are being hypocrites, and that what was being projected from them, the negative vitriol that we're seeing projecting, especially in someone like Megan, someone who is out there trying to put positivity just by
mhm,
doing what she loves out into the ether for people to take or not take. As someone said in the comment section, you don't have to watch it, but I guarantee they're going to watch, right? They're going to
yeah.
watch and they're going to burn up while watching it because they need something to critique. But as someone who's trying to elevate themselves as a human being in this world that is constantly trying to, mold themselves into a better person, if that is your aim on this planet while you have breath in you, you should be looking at the person that you low key admire, because that's what's going on. You should be looking
Mhm,
at Megan and looking at anyone else that you admire and say, what in this person, what is it in this person that I can learn? right? What is it that she's doing? What is it that he's doing that I can learn from, that I could try to do on my own to make myself better, right? So instead
Yeah.
of being critical, instead of being negative, instead of like slandering someone and looking ridiculous and literally, to be honest, making yourself look bad. Why not look at it and say, you know what? Good for her. I may not be as skinny as she is. May not be as classy as she is. I may not have come up from nothing and no money and still is doing it and have gotten the prints and have looking like things are all together and I have the family and I'm making things work. I may not have it all figured out, but I should be happy with what I've had and what I have now because I've worked for it and it is mine because I've worked for it. The what is it? The oh, I can't even think of the phrase, the something of happiness or joy.
Pursuit of
Comparison is a
happiness.
thief. Yeah,
Oh
comparison
yeah,
is a thief of joy
comparison.
and happiness, right? So when you are out there, there's always going to be somebody that's smarter than you. There's always going to be somebody that's more beautiful than you, that has cuter eyes or cute nose or nice lips or great complexion or nicer hair, whatever your definition of that is, right? I don't care what it is, but you have to know what you have as a person and say, "This is me. I own it, and I'm gonna make the best of it." And it's all we can do because we're individuals. You know,
Yeah,
we take what has been given to us from our genes, from our parents, from what we do to kind of keep ourselves healthy and strong and well minded, and we make the best of what we have to use because it's all we got. Comparing that to what someone else had because you can't have that exact thing, even if you were to get it, isn't going to make you happy. And that's what these people do not understand. So when I see all of this stuff, being posted from what you're showing, I look at it and I'm like, these people I feel sorry for them that they're bitter and this callous on the inside because they're going to get eaten up. And as you said, nothing that they touch is going to bring fruit because they're like that. And someone said she's blessed. Yes, she's absolutely blessed, but it's not blessed because she's gifted or been granted anything more than anyone else. Megan has been putting investments out there for a long time before we even knew who
mhm,
she was, right? She's been
mhm,
putting money into that pot and it's been building up. And now she is at that moment in her life where she doesn't even have to pull anything out. She's gaining interest on every single thing that she's put in. And that's what you're seeing in us supporting her. That's what you're seeing with her network, with her partnerships, with the stuff that, how she's like being presented, the stuff flying off the shelf because she's wearing it. All of that, the support that she's getting from people that she doesn't even know, and I'm
mhm.
rattling, and continuing to ramble right now, but I'm just saying this because I I don't care what all that noise is right now. It's showing us who they really are, and it's really telling us more about them as an individual and their inadequacies more than it is saying something about Megan.
Yeah. Mhm.
Hi, I'm back.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you so
back.
much for that light side. Rahini, you can go
What?
ahead.
Light side has flaws? No. No,
No,
where?
like let me just correct. Let me just correct light side. She is like one of the most generous people I have ever met. If I tell you like
Yeah.
how she helped me last year, like I was really struggling last year, and so she's an incredible person. Let me just tell you all that.
I know that. I don't know what she's talking about flaws. But I agree with everything she says because it's very interesting. Um, because Megan Madadi McCain has never actually earned anything that is
Yeah,
hers.
yeah,
She does not know what that feels like. So the idea that she thinks she has the moral high ground to speak on anything Megan does is ridiculous, right?
yeah,
Listen to me. Her mother and her father come from extremely wealthy families. Both sides. She was born with a gold-plated silver spoon in her mouth. It's ridiculous that you think you could, and you have done nothing. You You got on a show simply because you were John McCain's daughter, and you got fired from that show, and you don't need to work. You don't. So the idea that you could sit there and cast judgment on someone who has earned every single thing that is hers
Mhm.
is unimaginable to me. But going back a bit to the lady that spoke about her garden in the community, I had an idea. Hear me out, guys.
Okay.
Hear me out. It's a good idea. Somebody need to go and talk to Tyler Perry and get
Okay.
him to do like a docu-series slash movie on the Meghan effect. We
Mm.
think. We think like, or we need to do something to highlight it. We really do need in the squad and the good that we've been doing, starting with the fundraisers and talking about what she means to us. And no, it need to be kept quiet. But I think we could pull it off. I think we could pull it off.
I think
Somebody
that's an
be
excellent idea.
That's really
Now,
cool.
Mm.
I mean, do you think he's maybe already thinking about that, or someone is? Because that would have been something. If you were smart, you would have jumped on.
I know
You know.
this, but it
Mm,
has to be secret. It has to be something that they don't know what the sausages themselves don't
hmm.
know what's happening, and then you spring it on them, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's fantastic!" Because
I
the
love that idea.
effect that they have on people is there are no words to describe it, and it goes, all the way back to Princess Diana. The effect that Princess Diana had on the world,
Mhm.
if we try to describe, I could tell you that in my country, in Trinidad and Tobago, HIV medications are automatically free because of her influence on the
Wow.
people, on the populace, on the idea of her, holding a HIV positive child on her lap. It changed the narrative of how we saw each other. It's profound. And Prince Harry carried that, and it was only fitting that he ended up with somebody who was already doing the same thing, and could together they could move mountains. It's unimaginable. And I think it would be really wonderful to show it, because there is this coordinated, designed narrative to tell
Mhm.
her story as being this controlling, destructive force, when in reality, she is the light in the darkness, out of
Mhm.
the madness that was there, and because they are so consumed by prejudice. Because let's look at it from a practical standpoint, right? PR standpoint. If you are, um, oh God, my brain is working. If you are a newspaper, you would go where the money is. You'd bank where the money is. You put a picture of
Mhm.
Meghan and it sells out. Why wouldn't she be? Why wouldn't you be an ally to her?
Mm.
Why wouldn't you
Because
want the
because they were
inside
already,
scoop?
yeah. Well,
Right?
that I
The
mean that's
royals
because
are
they were
not in it.
already
Yes,
allied
I
to the
know.
royals.
Well, that's the thing. I know you have the invisible contract, but it's not making money for you. It's not banking unless you talk about the truth. You understand, and you expose them for who they really are, right?
Mhm.
But who Megan really is light and bankable. That's the
Yeah,
reality.
Mhm.
but
It's
here's the thing.
bankable.
But here's the thing, Rohini, and I'm interested in knowing what Anne thinks about this too, because I know we've cycled this in conversations before and kind of like skirted around it. But I think a common theme across even the royalists with writing the tabloids and the ones here that are attacking her on social media and saying whatever is that they almost seem like they expect her to ask for permission to be happy, to have the things that she has, not that she's allowed or to be granted the privilege of having joy or access, right? Or the benefits or of privilege. They want the control of her coming to them, kneeling at their feet and begging and saying, can you
Yeah.
please, right? It's not,
Yeah.
but she didn't do that. She claimed it. She made it her own. And I think the issue with them, and I don't think a lot of them have realized this, the issue that's going on with them is that there's this dissonance happening for why is she so successful? Why is she so pretty? Why is she so skinny? Why does she
Yeah.
have all these things? I don't have these things. How dare she has these things? Who told her she could have these things? They don't understand what that is. There's nothing that says that you, Rohini, or Anne, or Joe, or Connie, or anyone else, or Mina, or any there's nothing that says that any one of us can't have everything that we ever wanted, and she's making the best of what she has. And unfortunately, I think that there are people that, because they put their own limitations on themselves and whatever, and they can't have some of the things that they've always wanted, they think that you shouldn't have the things that you have right now, and that's what's being
Mhm.
projected on her,
Well,
right?
well, well, if okay, so if we're talking at it from the British standpoint, right? The British society, even though they are trying very hard to break out of it, is a very class structured society,
Mhm.
right? So in their minds, it's almost impossible for anybody to move from one caste to the next above them. You
So the
stay at
heads
this
are
station.
exploding right now is
It
what you're
take it
saying.
exactly. It takes
Mm.
a lot because she is telling them that I will tell you who I am. You don't get to tell me that because 14 generations ago, my great great whatever great was a peasant, that I am to stay a peasant. No, I chart my own course. So that is a beginning thing. And the royal family as an institution is the physical, tangible embodiment of that class's situation. That class is there. It is
They sit at the
the
top.
constant reminder that it exists. And before, I remember seeing it in a documentary, before, what gave them the shine was the idea that they were anointed by God. But if you have people
Mhm.
talking about wanting to be tampons, that's not of Jesus. So something else have to give them that anointing, right? So the
Yeah.
anointing now is the press. So the press now have an
Mhm.
enormous amount of control. And this is why I remember once I told you, I say, I believe the courtiers and the press, like, they have a morbid sense of satisfaction when they advise the royal family wrongly and they make a fool of themselves. They like it,
Yeah.
right? They like it. So that's the power that they have. But here you have Meghan coming from a place where the American idea is you are self made. You pull yourself up from your bootstraps and
Yeah.
you show who you are, your ability, right? And the best, the cream rise to the top. And she's coming into an environment where being that one drop rule, because let's be realistic, many of us had to squint to see Megan's blackness. I told someone once, I said, if they notice her whiteness as much as we do, we would not be here. It's the black part that they have an issue with, right?
Mhm.
So her blackness meant that she is supposed to be so far down that there's no way she could climb, but without even coming to the bottom, she has reached the highest level of white supremacy. The highest. She has outwhited them. Let's not BS. Every marker that they believe to be a proper white woman, she has done. Not
What do you think
because
that's doing to them
it is
mentally?
ripping them apart. It is ripping them apart because before Princess Meghan was there, right? Kate was useless. They were reveling in bringing her down because she couldn't do it. But magically, they're trying to make her the English Rose. But the thing is, she can't. Fetch isn't going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not. And the saddest part about all of this is that this happens by choice. Megan is who she is because she has chosen to be that person. It takes effort, it takes decision, it
Mhm.
takes movement. She is doing something. Do you understand what I'm saying? It isn't just
Mhm.
bestowed on you because you were born into it. And it's the same thing with Harry. In a way, Harry had a bit of an advantage, and I use, it's small air quotes for that advantage, that he didn't have the yoke of the expectation of inheriting the crown, that he could truly find a way to find his own path. Now, they wanted him to be they wanted his path to be the hapless, lonely person that is just there to support his brother. But
Mhm.
how pathetic and toxic is that? That you're, as a grown man, your purpose is just to support your brother and trail behind him. That doesn't make any sense. So here he meets this woman who says, "Listen, you could soar, you could soar," and together they are above everybody, and that is stressful because they cannot tame it, they cannot define it. And because of the way the world is open with social media and with them being able to tell their own story, everybody sees it. But the attacks on
Yeah.
them, it's coordinated, it's specific, it's designed to it's designed to dim that shine, to dim that light. But for some reason they don't recognize the light is not bestowed upon them, the light comes from them. It's
I think they
internal.
know they don't have it though, Larini. I think I think a part of them being miserable is that they recognize they don't have the thing that she has. They're persecuting her because that thing that they wish they had to be able to do this, to get the attention, the platforms and all of that without even trying, or like you said, to have the genealogy, right? Or the tier, the class tier system that you have going on in the UK. She had two strikes against her. She had, like you said, the small percentage of melanin in her genealogy, and then she also didn't come in through the bloodline that is expected in the royal line to be granted the privilege that these people just get for just being born who they are, right? But I I do believe that part of how people respond to you, the negativity, especially in her situation, is because they know deep down they choose, it's a choice, like you said. She chose to do the work and put the work in to get to where she's at. They're making a conscious choice to not like her. They're making a conscious choice to not recognize and give that what do you call it, that attention and ownership on the fact that they don't have what she has, right? It's not that they don't know. They know.
Mm.
They're just being intentionally ignorant and choosing to believe that it's something else. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, someone mentioned something about black women, and I keep sounding like a broken record when we say this. Not just black women, you have other women from other subgroup minority groups too. But there's always a statement that we have to try twice as hard, three times as hard to get the attention. Sometimes you can do everything perfectly, right? Even better
Mm.
than the next person. And we've seen it in her case. And it still would not be enough because that's not the litmus and that's not the grading scale. There is no grading scale. They make it up as they go, right? So there's no pleasing them
That's the
whatsoever in
thing,
whatever you do.
I think it was Yalibi who said it. To them, we are not supposed to be it. We're, we're not supposed to be this talented. We're not supposed to be this beautiful. We're not supposed to be this charming. We're not supposed to have class. We're not supposed to have sophistication. We're not supposed to be educated simply because, we have, because we are not white. We're not supposed to have it. And to them, they're supposed to automatically have it, not realizing none of these things are automatic.
And we're
None of
definitely
them.
not
They
supposed to have
have
the
to,
prince either, right? We're not supposed to
no,
have the prince either. Can we say that?
no. We're
Okay.
not supposed to have him. We supposed to have the dusties that make us a baby mama. That's what we're supposed to be. But if we say to ourselves, listen, enough is enough. I want better. I was thinking about something. I might get into a little trouble, but don't be mad at me. In a way, Kate could learn a lot from Meghan, from her past experiences with a man. Meghan and her first husband were together for 11 years, married for two, the last two, right? Now, neither of them have spoken about what led to the divorce. We have rumors here and there. But think about it. It meant that just like Kate, Meghan would have waited, give her 9 years of her life to a man, finally marrying. And then she had enough inner strength to realize that this isn't good enough for me. I'm done. But where's Kate now? 14 years later, and still the doormat. Still the
But
doormat.
I would say I would say Rahini is that that's a very good point. But I would say that it's Megan's strength that I think Kate actually found intimidating in itself. I don't think she would have. You're right in that she could have learned a lot from Megan, but all those things that she could have learned, I think she just found intimidating. She could have learned to advocate for herself better, both publicly and in her marriage. She could have learned how to cultivate a more relatable and authentic public image. But all of that would take humbling yourself. It would take understanding that this caste system that you've created, just because you put yourself on a higher pedestal, it doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be more loved or more popular. That's something that comes with connecting with people, and the Kate and the institution just they lack that entirely.
They fail,
Yeah.
because they've been used to it for so long that they just get it because they are the royal family, that they just have this innate expectation that they should have it, not realizing that the rest of the world has moved on. We not even the press could bestow that light onto you if you don't. This is why influencer culture is popular, because influencers connect to individuals, it connect to you on a human level, right? This is why we like one
Mm,
person over the next. It's not that it's not that it's like Hollywood manufacture this person and I should like them because Hollywood said I was. There was a time when that was the truth, but the world has moved on to wanting that connectivity and that authenticity with you being. People wanted to be human. We wanted to be human,
mm,
and it's incredibly sad to know that you have the space, you have the room to do it, but instead you choose not to. I don't know if it
mm,
is because you think so lowly of your subjects that they should just stay there beneath you and praise you no matter what, right? But I say to people, there's a reason why people praise God, or not because He come true for them. Right? This is
mm,
why they get praises. And same thing. There's a reason why we would be so happy about Meghan and Harry and their successes, because there is actions attached to it. They connect with
mm,
you. They come down to you on a human level, right? And that is who they project. That is what they want to put out there, and that is what people is responding to, and they don't recognize that. But instead of saying, how do we emulate that? How do we um how do we continue with that? How do we do our own version of it? Because let's be realistic, the rest of the royals probably can't do it like Meghan could. They probably can't, right?
no.
But there's a difference between being able to do it and not trying at all. The thing is, they don't care. They think they should just get it. They're entitled to it, and this whole machine around them, including the press and including the trolls online, they are fueling that. They are fueling that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say something about Megan McCain and Kundis. Sorry, and Kundis. It's
Megan,
Candice
my father
Owens.
McCain.
Candace Owens is always sad to me because she always strikes me as the type of black person who would prefer to be cattle than prey. They're those people,
Mm,
those black people. No,
yeah.
I personally am okay with being prey because until they catch me, I'm free. So that's how I see things. But that's
Mm,
kind of who she is. And to me, I think because right now, in terms of the conservative space with MAGA, they're kind of being pushed out of it because with her being kicked off of the network and Meghan McCain
mm-hmm.
not really having a space in MAGA because she and Trump had issues, right? You know,
Yeah.
I think right now they are trying to find their niche. And
Yeah.
I've always spoken about the Meghan hatred, that 5M business model, maligning Meghan Markle makes money.
Mm-hmm.
That is very lucrative. So this
But
is
I
a
think
money
it's
grab. I
on
think it's a money
yeah,
grab.
it is the money grab, but I think it's the money grab that's kind of slowly coming to an end because if you look at who is who Megan is being backed by, I think they're just isolating themselves even more because Megan, my father McCain, she's pretty much she doesn't really get actually platformed by the big conservative platforms anymore. Her putting our Duchess on her mouth is the most talked about she's been for ages. Kundis was kicked off of her platform. Megan Kelly was also, she lost her place on Fox a while ago. I think she's also just doing some indie things. So it's like they are literally just they are grasping for straws at this point, and that's why I continue to say 2025 is going to be the year when they get their comeuppance. But Valerie just popped into the chat. Thank you so much for that, Rahini and Lightside. I know we could probably talk about this for hours, but I do need to have
Yes.
an off-air conversation with
Yeah, no,
Rahini.
no, we will. Really
And did
quickly
you want to say
though.
something Lightside before I go on?
Yeah, no, I'm not making any more comments. I could, but I'm not. But just I wanted you to check Benjamin Padilla's comment. I think he said he sent you 3 coffees and he wanted to make sure you received it and make sure there was
Oh, thank
nothing
you.
going on in his account. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that the only thing I'm gonna say is this. I feel like there's a lot of people who find comfort in their ignorance, and it's too terrifying for them to step out of that and question their
Mhm.
inadequacies to make change. I'm gonna leave folks with that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, like I said. Okay. First of all, yes, Benjamin, I did get your 3 copies and I appreciate it so much. Also, thank you to Miss Evelyn I, who sent a PayPal. And I also want to say thank you and sorry to several other people who have actually been sending me copies, but for some strange reason, the notifications are going to my junk mail. So I'm not seeing them. So thank you also to R. Carter, because I'm having to go through my junk mail to see this. Duchess of Deerfield, who actually sent a copy on Wednesday, and also God, LA, you bought me 5 copies on Tuesday. Thank you so much. I'm only actually just seeing this now because it was going to my junk mail for some reason, and I haven't checked on the actual Buy Me a Coffee platform. So thank you so much. Sorry I didn't see that sooner, and everybody who's donated today. Obviously it helps me so much keep the podcast running. I'm not going anywhere, by the way. I will be here all year, especially now with cooking show. Ro, you can be absolutely guaranteed that I will be here for at least another year. I'm not going anywhere. I can promise you that. Even if I go traveling again. But Valerie, who I have missed, she did come into the chat just now, and I just want to give her a good 5 minutes to say whatever it is that she wants to say, and then we will certainly wrap things up. But thank you to Rahini, Lightside, and everybody else who came up as well. Valerie,
Hello,
Happy New Year.
Duchess. How
How
are
are
you?
you? I'm
I'm fine,
fantastic.
thank you. How are you
You?
keeping?
Great. Lovely to hear
Happy
your
New
voice.
Year.
You too.
Okay.
Lay it
This
on
has
us. Give us your 2 cents. Give us your 2 cents, Valerie.
this has been an interesting year. The year I find out with 2024, it was really hotting up and beating up. Now 2025, it hasn't even landed. I mean, this is the third
Yeah.
day, no, it's a fourth
Fourth
day of the
day.
new year, and already explosion. Do you remember the time when we used to have years and things started heating up to in the middle of the in
Yeah.
around 6 months? Now, soon as they bang, bang, what up thing. You
Yeah,
can see that the time you have to really have faith in the Almighty, because you can see
indeed.
the lunacy, the lunacy.
Yes.
Now, I find it strange that you, Meghan McCain, you have got you need to focus on your husband and your children. You were the last time before them, you were crying because you had a miscarriage or you lost your baby. You got your two children. Focus on your two children now. Don't worry about Meghan and her cooking show. She wants to have a cooking show. That's not that, focus on that. But you having meltdown over her cooking show and then tell her that they have three terrorist attack and she should do this. Why are you looking for her to do something? Why don't you do something? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Just
Exactly.
look for once. Look what you're doing. Don't worry with what she's doing. I think, to be honest, and I'm going to say it, I think that when the British government were hoping, not British government, the British people were hoping that when Donald Trump comes in, this is going to be, they're going to throw Harry out and da. What you're
Oh
going to
yes.
find out is that Donald is not interested in Harry and Meghan. Donald is looking after his billionaire friends. And that's what is already, if
Yes.
you heard with Varric Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. Do you remember when they said? Do you remember when they're doing all that big deportation? Well, in their tech companies, they want to be hiring people from India and China and all those
Overseas. Oh yes, this
overseas.
whole thing with the visa thing that's going on between
Yeah,
the MAGA
they're
camp.
not,
Yeah.
they're not going to be looking at Harry and Meghan. They're going to
Yes.
be looking. I mean, I know the papers, the media might try to stir it. I mean, the British people, they're looking at they're looking at lining their pockets. They're looking at
Yes.
lining their pockets, and they're looking at their billionaire friends, because that's why a lot of tech people voted for him, because they can drop they can change the notifications on their tech, so they're not going to be worrying about Harry. And this is where I think that the British media, particularly, they're going to find themselves in very trouble, because they're not going to be looking at Harry. Harry's not interested in them. Their interest is making more and more money. And what they're finding now, people are getting tired, because especially I think with Jeremy Vine, the woman, people going up and telling them they are going to be watching the program and they're terrible. They're complaining, they're terrible about their negativity. Then I think with
Mm-hmm.
GB News, I think the woman was getting red faced, because the woman said that she's tired of her telling and putting her lies. And she said, and then she said, it's her opinion. She said, yeah, it's her opinion. And all you want to do is silence us. But I'm speaking. Meghan hasn't done anything. And people now are just fed up.
Set up. Yeah.
They're just fed up, because you're spinning. You see, I think what has happened, and I've now, because I'm now I listened to a man called, well, he's dead now. There's a thing called Neville Goddard. He talked about imagination and listening to what I think what was done for so many years was that the papers and everybody span a story, and we all believed it. We all went along with it, and we all believed it. And what is now happening now is that, because you've got like Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and all these different avenues, the story which they've been spinning can't do it. They can't spin anymore, because people are seeing the truth. And what is happening is that the matrix is cracked, and you can't. And once it's like the story of Humpty Dumpty's had a great fall. What to Humpty? After he fell off, nobody could repair him, and that's what is happening. And they can bring in right wing and Tommy Robinson. You can bring in a whole set of people. People are living in their own reality. Meghan has to live her own life, and she will live her own life, and regardless of how you feel about her, she will live her own life. You can scream between now till the cows come home, she will live her own life. And that is exactly what she has to do. Same with Harry. They're going to live their own life. They're living in their own reality. So it doesn't matter what you say. As long as they know where they're going, That's fine. So all this getting on hysterical and writing articles upon articles upon articles, they all behave, they all sound like lunatics. It's just like me saying, it's lunatic. It's like, for instance, they have their lived experiences, and you're telling them no. It's like you coming into somebody's house and telling them they've always had a blue door in front of their house. You're telling me no, that door is not blue, that door is red. They're not going to believe you. They said that they said no, and if you want to argue, okay, and they'll get on with their life. That's just what's happened. So when you're there hunting where is Meghan, stalking where is Meghan, it's stalking and it's thing. You either, it's two things. You all sound completely lunatics, and really and truly, if it's possible, they should be charged for harassing and jailed. But it's because it's a money. Because what happened? How harassing Meghan is become a money thing. And what they don't understand, and I strongly believe in what you sow, you reap. I mean, I really strongly believe it. And all of these people who have sown destruction on Meghan, it's ended up badly for them. Candace Owen lost her job at The Wire. Remember, she was the right-wing girl. She lost her job at The Wire, and she cannot go to Australia. She cannot go to New Zealand. You can go to Australia. I can go to Australia. She can't go there. Meghan, she used On The View. She's no longer on The View, and she's restricted to a podcast. Megyn Kelly. Reason why Megyn Kelly is embittered, because there was a woman called Tamara Hall. She was on this program, and they gave her spot to Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly flopped after a year, and Tamara Hall's program is a black woman. She got a child when she was 50. Her program is still going strong. So that is why Megyn Kelly is embittered, because with all her whiteness, it didn't work out for her. And my late mother said, yes, a lot of people are going to wake up one day and they're going to find out that when they want to hold on to, oh, my skin is white and I'm do this, and if you're rubbish, you're rubbish. And that is what is happening with them. So no one is listening to them anymore. So even if they can vote Trump, they can vote the Conservative Party, people are going to be able to live their individual lives, and they're going to live in wealth and abundance and peace and prosperity. And Harry's living his best life. Regardless of what his father, his stepfather, his brother said, he's living his best life. Meghan is going back to what she used to do. She did the TIG. When she was sick, she's gone back to her Instagram and her cooking. So it doesn't matter. She's living her best life, and that is how you're supposed to live. And even I'm going to say biblically, that's what was his name said. Jesus said, Yeshua said, I have come that they may live and live it abundantly. John 10:10. So they're living their best life, and good on them. So this howling and whining and gnashing of teeth and crying, and she should do this and she should do that. It's pointless, because it's like speaking, it's like fighting in the air. You there fighting, it's like you going fighting up the wind. You can't beat the wind. It's just ridiculous. I just think these people, they're real sad people, and I think a lot of them, they need mental issues, and they probably need psychiatric treatment, because this hatred, how long you hate somebody, you don't know this person, you're writing articles upon articles.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a huge part of the hate train is financial. We know that, but then there are also people that actually don't make any money from this at all. The internet commentators and the trolls, and it's a part of their soul that just seems to eat them up. And like you said, it's like you're fighting with wind, and how utterly ridiculous anybody who's fighting with the wind, how they look. But thank you so much, Valerie. It was lovely to hear from you. We're going to have, no worries at all, we're going to have an incredible year with Harry and Meghan. And I do...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's going to be a fantastic year. Even for us, it's going to be a fantastic year.
Yeah. I already feel like so inspired. And like somebody else said, you know, there is a level to escapism to this, but I also just think it's a really nice thing to do, to like level up, self-care, caring for your home, caring for yourself, like I said, community, friends, family, and that's something that's applicable to anyone. It doesn't matter, you know, how much money you have. I think this is a fantastic example to be saying, and I'm very, very excited. All right, with that said, I'm going to end the podcast there. Thank you everyone for your donations, for your commentary. I think it's one of the best podcasts we've had in a long time. There's actually some parts of the podcast that I might break up and just post as individual videos, especially that lady who was talking about the community work and stuff like that. I definitely want more people to hear about that and how Meghan has influenced others. If they don't listen to this whole podcast in full, I definitely want more people to hear about that. And yes, if Meghan has influenced your life or community work in any way, please do email me. Like, I want to hear about these stories, because people need to know all of the amazing ways in which we've been inspired and how that is transpiring in our own lives and in our communities. All right, thank you so much, folks, and I guess I will see you tomorrow. So glad that I finally got to do the call in that I was talking about, and we got to all give our 2 cents. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's dance our way out. And I will be actually, I've been meaning to have like a new intro song for the longest time. I'll try and get a new one. All right, let's dance our way out. Ciao.